outdoor dining room and had a lot of good meals out there.
Sounds
Breakfast,
exciting, though,
lunch,
to
and
be
dinner.
together doing this.
And we went up there that year, and just high school girls went up to work in the cafeteria. And that was kind of exciting for us until they told us we could sleep in the attic. We found out it had bats too.
Were you a teenager at the time, or were you younger?
Yeah, just a teenager.
So you worked in the kitchen?
And we worked in the kitchen. We helped serve the meals and washed all the dishes, lots of dishes.
Well, how many people would be there? How many did you serve?
I don't know how many, but all those tables were pretty full of people. So there were a lot of people. Lots of them came from Los Angeles too. They didn't have any conference rooms down there. So they came, and all the area around Central California. There were quite a few people.
How about coffee? You haven't mentioned coffee. Was that important to these people?
Must have been. We were so busy with our own affairs. We worked in the cafeteria, and somehow we could manage to get through with the dishes at lunchtime and get down to the beach and spend time there and get back in time for supper. I don't know. We managed.
You had to get to the beach.
Oh yeah, every day.
And around 1929, there was a fire, and you were there at that time.
That was the time I was going to come to work in the cafeteria. So two other girls, Dorothy Clint and Lorraine Sandberg, and I were all going up to work in the cafeteria. We had a ride with Frank Youngdale because his wife and children were in Mission Springs already.
That would be Esther Youngdale
Esther,
and Frank Youngdale.
And Frank was going up and took us with him. We got, on the way, we had heard about the fire in the mountains, so kept watching it. As we got closer, we saw more and more fire. And finally, we got to Camp Evers. And all these women were out there along the road with all their belongings in sheets, big bundles of sheets. And they and the kids were stationed along the road waiting for their husbands to come and pick them up. Frank couldn't find Esther and the kids. They weren't available. He just couldn't find them. The roads were closed. We couldn't get in. He didn't care for anything. He was going to find his wife and kids. We went right through the fire. The fire was burning in the treetops, but not where we were driving along the road into Mission Springs. We got into Mission Springs, and the ladies that did the cooking for the conference were making sandwiches and coffee for all the firefighters. A few other of the pastors were around that were instrumental in developing Mission Springs. And Dorothy Clint came in and was going into the other room through the swinging door, and she hit Pastor Wellender in the face and threw his glasses off, and I never did know if they really broke or not. But we turned around and came back because we couldn't find Esther and the kids. They weren't visible anyplace. So back we went through the same area.
So it was still the search for the Youngdales.
Still looking for them. When we got out there, they were by the road. She had gone in to get ice cream for the kids.
So the story ended okay.
So that one's okay, but we still didn't have any place to sleep because we couldn't go back, and we were supposed to sleep in the attic. So a couple of teachers and a couple of nurses were spending the summer in Santa Cruz. The nurses were working and the teachers were taking some courses and for summer school courses, and they offered their beds. Those that were sleeping in the daytime gave us their beds for the night. those that were working. Otherwise, we could be in their apartments.
Did the conference resume after the fire?
Well, yes, when they had right ahead, the fire wasn't endangering Mission Springs after that. That night didn't seem to make any difference. So the conference went on.
Where did they get all the water for these people?
Oh, from the springs, Mission Springs. Nice, clean water. That was not supposed to, that was supposed to take care of Mission Springs, which it did for quite a while. It's good water.
And then were there ever any stories of it not being so good?
Well, that water was good, but I do remember the tanks up on the hillside. I think rats got into it or something. They had a problem. They had to clean them all out.
I'm sure they took care of it. Do you have memories of games or activities down on the flat, people enjoying the recreation in between the meetings and going to the beach?
Everybody went to the meetings. We went to all. They didn't have any other plans for kids either quite that soon. So we were always going to all the meetings, whether we listened or not. We were there. But the meeting place was such a pretty place up on the hill.
Where was that?
That was up the hill a little ways, and it was surrounded with canvas, just like the dining room was down below. They used a lot of canvas, and then they had a canvas over the rooftop in case it sprinkled. And it was a beautiful place to sit there. And if you weren't listening, you could watch all the beautiful redwoods around you. It's pretty.
Was there a lot of singing too?
Lots of singing.
Do you remember any of the music, like How Great Thou Art? Or
That's where I first heard it. But that was in the Cathedral Grove, where I first heard that. Some girl from, I don't know if it was Murphy's or one of the places in the mountains, who sang well, sang it. It was just a thrill. It was beautiful. Mm. That was when they had developed the Cathedral Grove by that time.
When you think back now, 100 years, over 100 years of your life and the different people you've met along the way, what would you say Mission Springs means most to you?
Mission Springs was a second home to us, and we spent as much time as we could there, and it was such a nice place. You met so many people from other places that you wouldn't see often enough. It was a wonderful place to get acquainted with people. And
it was a gathering place as well as a spiritual place.
And a special vacation. You tried to get there for the 4th of July, and around that time we always had the family conference. And then since we had the cabin there, we were there as many weekends as we could get away.
How long did it take you to get to the cabin?
I think we planned on 3 hours.
Did you ever get stuck on the pass?
No, we never did. It was interesting to watch the dam being built, because we went right through the dam. The road for Pacheco Pass went down through the dam, and then all of a sudden that was closed and it filled with water. That was interesting.
Do you have any memories of particular speakers or counselors or people that you met, their missionaries, any particular times?
Oh, and we did. They had wonderful missionaries, and that would be there especially for the women's retreats and things. We had some wonderful speakers. Then in the summer conferences, they always had special speakers, and they were quite special.
In the years ahead now, they have so many programs for the children, grandchildren of people like yourself who were the early founders of Mission Springs. What do you hope for the next generation in Mission Springs?
I hope for continued progress in developing it. And they seem to have more and more people if they can just keep ahead of the problem of room. I think that would be the best thing ever.
It'll always be a special place to you.
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much, Doris.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, so
but he had nothing to do with it, for once.
it was just a. Oh, go ahead.
Say when.
Oh, 3, 2, 1. So I'm together now with Gladys Lanier and with Doris, and you have so many memories from the earliest of years. And one of the areas I'm interested in as a female is what were the bathroom facilities like there? It seems like you always have to stand in line when women try to find a bathroom.
Well, I think we did then too.
Yeah, but the very first one was that little tiny building that called Scrap House now, you know. That's where the first one was. And it was just a little two-holer. Do you remember that, Doris?
I sure do remember it, but the people that had built their little garages all the way up the street used that. That was their bathroom. You ran down the hill.
Remember that?
So it was always in use.
Oh, completely.
But then they built, you know, the ones that are still there. But they were a little bit primitive at that time, but they've improved them a lot.
I imagine the women did dress up a lot in those years.
Yeah, it was the kind of clothes we had, you know, we just brought the clothing that we're used to wearing
That was it.
at home.
Yeah.
We didn't have special sport clothes.
No, you just came like you were.
So, you know, did you pull any pranks on any people, or do you remember others doing pranks? I hear there was a story about a mortician.
You want to take that one, Doris?
We never knew when the bell was going to be ringing in the middle of the night. So you knew, oh, one of the guys is loose. And one time, we didn't hear that. We heard about it the next day that C.J. Larson, who was the director at that time, answered the door at night, and these people said, we are from the San Jose mortuary, and we came to pick up C.J. Larson, the body of C.J. Larson. And I think he says, I'm C.J. Larson.
Yeah, he did. Very definitely said it.
So who pulled the prank?
I don't know if...
I'm not sure.
I don't think...
I think it was a bunch of guys.
And we never did really know. And it's probably just as well. Because I think
We might be married to them.
I,
Might have been.
When you ladies headed off for the beach in the afternoon, how did you dress then? What kind of clothing did you wear at the beach?
a full bathing suit. a full suit.
Almost like a regular dress, almost. Yeah.
And the boardwalk was there?
The boardwalk was there, but we didn't go there. We went to Seacliff.
Yeah, mostly.
Most of the time we went to Seacliff because we had a little more, the beach was sort of private for us.
How did you get there?
We did, most of the time, Stubby Clint used his car, his dad's car, which might have been a Hupmobile or something like that. And it had more room than anything else, and you didn't have to have seat belts, and you could stuff people in, as many as could get in. We all went to the beach, and we got home okay too.
And we're so glad because it's been great to hear the stories from you. Thank you so much.
Oh, my.
No one had to take the blame.
Yeah, right.
No.
Well, we're going to grab some lunch now, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah.